Hello! Today we are going to practice our letters for the first time. We're going to be writing uppercase and lowercase. A, so A for apple, and A says A. We have our uppercase, or our big and little, and then we have our letter B. Bubba B. Bear says B. And all year we're going to be using what we call the letter house to help us know where the different parts of our letters go. So over here I'm going to show you what that means. When we are writing our letters, there's going to be 3 possible places where the parts of the letters go. So we have down here is the house, up here is the attic, and down below is the basement. I usually do a little dotted line there. When we write our letters, the parts of the letters have to fit in one of these 3 spots. It's either in the attic, the house, or the basement. So let's see, when I do a capital letter A, you're going to start in the attic and come all the way down into the house. But you don't go down too far into the basement. So once I do that line, I pick up my pen or pencil and come back up to the top and then come down through the attic into the house again. And then right on that dotted line where our house meets our attic is where we put our line. So we don't want it floating up here like this, and we don't want it down in the basement like that. It might look like that to start, but we are going to have to practice to make sure it stays in the attic in the house and then our middle line there. I'd like you on your paper to practice and do 4 each. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're also going to do our lower cases. Our lowercase a does not go in the attic at all. It's just in the house. So no part of it goes in the attic, no part goes in the basement. Our lowercase a's stay right in the house. We do a little circle and a line down. It's not a full circle. It's almost like, if we haven't learned this one yet, but the letter C, you'll see that later. A little shape like that, like almost a circle, and a line down. And remember, be sure it doesn't sneak up into the attic or sneak down into the basement. It's going to stay right in the house. And do 4 of those for me. For our uppercase, or our capital, or big B, I'm going to start in the attic and go down to the house. And then there's 2 bubbles in our uppercase B. 1 in the attic, 1 in the house. Make sure when you do it, you start with the line down, so that helps you connect your bubbles. Down from the attic into the house, a bubble, a bubble. And I'll do 4 to show you, because I asked you to do 4. And I'll show you 1 oopsies that we don't want you to do. Remember, we're not starting above the line, because you start up there, your big B is going to be floating away into the air. We don't want that. He's got to stay in his house. And now with our lowercase, we go down from the attic into the house, but this time there's only 1 bubble, and it's just in the house. And remember, with this one, we don't want him floating either, because he'll be floating away, but we also don't want him sinking, because that's too low. It needs to stay in the house and in the attic. So right here, from the attic to the house. And I'll cross these ones out so you know these aren't the good examples to follow. Line down and the bubble. And remember, with our lowercase b, it's so important that the bubble's in the house and not the attic, because if I put the bubble up here, what letter's that? That'd be a whole different letter. That's the letter P, and we're not doing that one today. So go ahead and give me 4 of each of those. And it's okay if you're still working on keeping it on the house, and it's perfectly okay if you're still working on holding your pencil the right way to get it comfy while you write. The more you practice, the easier it will get.